Welcome to this complete step-by-step guide for Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan online fresh admission for the academic year 2026-27. In this video, we will explain the entire process for form registration, form submission, and how to cancel or correct your application if required. This guide is based on the official portal process of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. So watch carefully till the end to avoid mistakes and ensure successful submission. The KVS online admission process has two main stages. First, the registration, and the second, application form submission, which has 8 different sections. In this video, we'll talk about all those 8 sections in detail. The portal is available in English and Hindi, includes autosave feature, real-time validation, and structured section-wise format. Before beginning of the process, one must have the following documents ready: a valid and a working email ID, a valid and working mobile number, scanned copy of the birth certificate of the child either in PDF or JPG format of maximum size 200 KB, child's photograph in JPG format only of maximum size 200 KB, certificate for disability or CWSN again in JPG or PDF format of maximum size 200 KB. For any activity like registration, form submission, or printing a copy of the final submitted form, we need to visit the official KVS online admission portal. The URL for the same is admission.kvs.gov.in. It is suggested to read all the instructions carefully and completely before beginning of the process. Link for the instruction is available on the home page. Once ready, the first step is to register a candidate. Registration is only a one-time activity. To register, click on the registration link on the home page. The registration button appears on the top right corner of the web page. Registration process is very simple. It must be noted that details entered in the registration form must be correct in all respect. These details cannot be changed at a later stage. You are requested to fill in all the details. The field marked with red stars are compulsory. Please note that the email ID and the mobile number provided must be correct and in working condition, as these will be used for all future communication. It is important to note that one must fill yes in parents' eligibility details if and only if either the father or the mother of the child is a permanent KVS working employee.
After clicking on the register button, you would obtain an OTP on the registered mobile number. This is the same number that you have entered in the previous screen. This OTP is valid for only 15 minutes. Enter the OTP and the CAPTCHA at the designated places and finally click on the verify button. This finishes the registration process. Kindly note, at the end of the registration process, you would be receiving a set of details. Kindly note these details at a safe point because these details would be required each time you log in again. The next step is to log in and fill in the admission form. To begin with, click on the login button on the home page and provide the login code, date of birth, and the registered mobile number. Type the CAPTCHA and click on the login button. Once your login is successful, you are ready to enter the details. We are now ready with filling out the admission form. The form is structured into 8 sections for systematic completion. It begins with the child's information, followed by the parent details. The next section covers child, siblings, where particulars of the child brothers and sisters are to be provided. Thereafter, in the choice of the school, we provide up to 3 preferred school where admission is sought. This is followed by parent transfer details, which is particularly relevant for parents employed in central or state government services. This is followed by uploading of the relevant documents. Once all the details are entered, we will move to preview section to review the application form carefully. Finally, we must accept the declaration and submit the form to complete the application process. It is not necessary to complete all the sections in a single sitting. However, the sequence must be strictly maintained. That is, we cannot enter the choice of the school before entering the parents' details. The first step is to fill the child's basic details. Please note that the child's first name, middle name, surname, and the date of birth are automatically fetched from the registered data. These particulars cannot be modified at this stage. You are then required to enter the date of birth certificate number followed by the Aadhaar number, which is optional in nature. Next, specify the mother tongue. A list of 23 official languages is provided for selection. If the child's mother tongue is not included in the list, you may select the Others option. Thereafter, fill in the gender, blood group, and the caste category. Upon selecting the caste category, additional details may be required. For instance, if OBC is selected, you must indicate whether the child belongs to creamy layer or non-creamy layer. In case SC or ST category is chosen, details such as certificate number, certificate issuing authority, and certificate date of issue are additionally required. In case of general category, additional details of the family income group are required. For example, if the child belongs to economically weaker section or the parents are below poverty line. After filling all these details, as soon as we press the save and the continue button. After completing the child information section, we are required to fill in the parent details. This section begins the question asking whether you are a single parent or not. A single parent refers to a parent who is solely responsible for the upbringing of the child due to circumstances such as separation, divorce, death of a spouse, or any other situation where only one parent is the primary caregiver. You must then enter the mother details including her name, nationality, country of residence, state, city, complete address, and PIN code. It is extremely important that the address provided is 100% accurate, as admission will be granted strictly on the basis of this address. If at a later stage a parent claims that they are not residing at the given address or intends to change the address in the near future, such claims will not be accepted. Therefore, ensure that you provide the exact and the current place of residence and not the permanent address. Further, enter the mother's mobile number, email ID, highest qualification, and indicate whether she is a government servant or not. After selecting the employment category, you must also provide details such as occupation, name of the organization, designation, and the annual income. The details of both father and mother occupation must be entered very carefully, as this forms one of the basic for admission of the child in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. Make sure that all these particulars are filled in correctly and accurately. The residential details of the mother can also be copied to the residential details of the father. For that, you need to select yes over here. Thereafter, provide the father's detail in similar manner. It is possible that mother and father may be residing at different addresses. In such case, both addresses, phone numbers, email IDs should be entered separately and accurately along with the current employment and income details wherever applicable. Finally, select Save and Continue to move to the next section. The next step is to provide the child's sibling details. This can be done by clicking on the Add Details button. Upon clicking, we will be prompted to enter the sibling name, gender, date of birth, whether he is studying yes or no, and if studying, what is the course of study. After providing all the details, simply press on the Add button. After this, we will proceed to a choice of school selection. This is one of the most important and crucial sections in the admission process. Here, we are required to provide up to 3 choices of Kendriya Vidyalayas where we wish to seek admission for our child. These 3 schools need not to be located in the same city or state. They can be selected from anywhere in the country. However, it was extremely important that this selection is filled carefully and correctly. The choices must be entered sequentially. First, choice 1, then choice 2, and finally we need to select the third choice. While it is not mandatory to fill all the 3 choices, at least one school must be provided. To select a school, first choose the state or the union territory where you desire a school. A list of all Kendriya Vidyalayas in that particular state will be displayed. From this, select the school of your preference. Once selected, the name of the sponsoring agency will automatically appear. We must then provide the distance between our current residence as entered in the parent details and the selected school. Ensure that this information is accurate. We will be required to indicate whether the distance is less than 5 km or more than 5 km or less than 8 km and more than 8 km depending on whether the school is situated in a rural or an urban area. Next, we must select the appropriate parent service category. In majority cases, it will automatically select a particular category based on the parent information that was already provided. The next section pertains to the transfer details of parents. This section is applicable only to the government employees, either central government or state government, and does not apply to employees working in private sector. A transfer will be considered valid only if the employee has been officially transferred by the competent authority from one place of posting to another location that is at least 20 kilometers away and the employee has completed a minimum stay of 180 days at the previous place of posting, that is, the station from where the transfer was effected. You are required to provide transfer details pertaining to the last 7 years only. The information must be entered in chronological order, which means arranging the transfer according to the sequence of time, starting from the earliest, that is the oldest transfer within the 7 years, and proceeding step by step the most recent transfer. Ensure that dates and place of posting are entered accurately and the current time sequence to avoid any discrepancies. To provide the transfer details, simply click on Add Details button. Provide the name of the office and the place from where the transfer was initiated. Provide the date of joining that particular place and the date of release from this particular place. The duration of stay in number of days will automatically appear. Then provide the details of the place where the transfer was given. Finally, provide what is the distance between these two places. and a proper transfer order number. Finally, click on Add button to add these particular details. These details can be edited or removed using the Edit or the Delete button. For the next set of transfer details, again click on the Add Details button. While entering multiple transfers, it is important to understand how the system records the sequence. For the second transfer entry onwards, the transfer to location mentioned in the previous entry automatically becomes the transfer from location in the next entry. In other words, the place where the employee was transferred in the first record would automatically be treated as a place of posting for the next transfer record. Therefore, ensure the transfers are entered accurately and in chronological order so that the sequence of posting is correctly reflected. Moving ahead, we need to upload few documents. The size and the specification of the documents are provided with each of the document. For example, our photograph must only be in JPG with a maximum size of 200 KB, while all other documents can either be JPG or in PDF format with a maximum size of 200 KB. To upload a document, simply click on Choose File, select the destination folder where the file exists, select the file, and then finally click on Upload button. You can even view the document uploaded. You need to upload all the documents that are asked for. Once all documents have been uploaded, simply click Save and Continue. We are almost at the final stage of the application submission process. After uploading the required documents, the system will display a preview of all the details and advise to review these information very carefully and ensure that every details provided is accurate and complete. If you notice any mistake in the information entered, you may return to the relevant section of the form and make the necessary correction. It is important to understand that making a correction in one section may require corresponding changes in other section as well. For instance, if the employment details for parents are modified, it is also required to update the parent service category selected in the choice of school selection. Therefore, after making any correction, it is advised to review the entire application once again before proceeding. Once you are satisfied that all the details entered by you are 100% accurate, simply click on Save and Continue. We are now at the final stage of the application submission. Simply accept the declaration and click on Proceed to Verification. You would be asked to provide an OTP and the CAPTCHA code. The OTP will be available on your registered mobile number. Finally, click on Verify and Submit Application. This finishes the complete process of submitting an application. Thank you.